Right after Michael Jackson's body was laid to rest amid a flood of tears from his family and millions of fans around the world, a wave of dark, haunting, and downright terrifying rumors began to spread like wildfire. One shocking rumor is currently shaking the internet to its core. After 17 years of being sealed, Michael Jackson's tomb has been opened. Many people are claiming they saw his body perfectly preserved, skin pale white, with eerie signs suggesting he might never have died at all. But what is the truth behind this? Today on Legendary Secrets, we're pulling back the curtain on everything, from the explosive tomb rumor to the darkest medical secrets, the scars no one talks about, and the hidden truth of the King of Pop's real legacy. Was his body carefully preserved, or has something far more mysterious happened? Hit subscribe button, turn on the bell, and don't miss a single revelation. Chapter 1. The Autopsy Report. The shocking truth behind the King's appearance. It's a cool, overcast September morning in 2009 at Forest Lawn Memorial Park in Glendale, California. The air feels heavy with grief. A small, private procession of black limousines moves slowly through the manicured grounds. No flashing cameras, no screaming fans, just the soft crunch of tires on wet gravel and the distant sound of rain tapping against ancient marble. Inside the majestic Great Mausoleum, behind locked bronze doors and guarded quarters, the Jackson family gathers in silence. They have chosen Holly Terrace, one of the most exclusive and restricted sections in the entire cemetery. Why this place? Because they wanted Michael protected from the chaos of the outside world. They wanted privacy. They wanted peace. The family has always chosen silence and secrecy, but that very silence has only made the rumors grow louder and darker with every passing year. Publicly, the world saw the massive memorial at the Staples Center on July 7th, filled with tears, tributes, and millions watching live. But the real burial happened weeks later, in this private ceremony on September 3rd, 2009. No media allowed inside, no photos released. Michael's body was placed into a sealed crypt in the Sanctuary of Ascension, and for 16 long years, that final resting place has remained locked away from the world. Now fast forward to the cold, clinical reality that very few people ever get to see. When the Los Angeles County Coroner's team examined Michael Jackson's body, what they found painted a heartbreaking and disturbing picture. He lay there on the examination table, 5 feet 9 inches tall, but weighing only 136 pounds. That's severely underweight for a grown man. His stomach was almost completely empty, containing nothing but a few partially dissolved pills. It looked like he hadn't eaten a real meal in days. His face told his own silent story. Eyebrows permanently tattooed black, lips tattooed pink. His scalp was covered in tiny pigment dots, little black spots carefully placed to create the illusion of hair density, hiding the massive scars from years earlier. His arms, hips, thighs, and shoulders were covered in hundreds of injection marks, some fresh, many old and scarred, clear evidence of years of repeated medical injections and treatments. But the deepest wounds weren't visible on the surface. Go back to January 27th, 1984. Picture the bright lights of the Shrine Auditorium in Los Angeles. Michael, at the peak of his powers, is filming a Pepsi commercial, dancing energetically to Billie Jean during the 6th take. Suddenly, a pyrotechnic explosion goes off too early. Sparks rain down like fire from hell. His hair ignites instantly. For a few terrifying seconds, Michael keeps dancing, unaware of the flames consuming his scalp. Then the pain hits. He collapses. His brothers and crew rush in, desperately smothering the fire with jackets, while the audience initially thinks it's all part of the show. Michael suffered 2nd and 3rd degree burns to his scalp. The damage was so severe he needed multiple reconstructive surgeries and skin grafts. The pain was excruciating. Doctors prescribed powerful painkillers, starting with Demerol, then stronger opioids. What began as medicine to ease the agony slowly turned into a lifelong dependency that haunted him for the next 25 years. Michael wasn't just burned on that stage in front of the cameras. He was burned again and again by the very pills meant to save him. The Hollywood medical system turned this once vibrant superstar into a permanent patient, dependent, isolated, and trapped in a cycle of pain and medication that ultimately contributed to his downfall. The Jackson family's choice to keep everything hidden in that marble mausoleum makes perfect sense, but it also created the perfect breeding ground for conspiracy theories. Because when you seal away the truth, the rumors rush in to fill the darkness. Chapter 2, Propofol and Dr. Conrad Murray. Was death planned? But while the mausoleum kept Michael's body hidden from the world, the real tragedy had already unfolded months earlier in a quiet, luxurious bedroom, where medicine crossed the line into something far more dangerous. It's the early morning of June 25, 2009, inside the rented $100,000 per month mansion at 100 North Carrollwood Drive in Holmby Hills, Los Angeles. The house is deathly silent, except for the faint hum of the air conditioning and the occasional distant sound of rain tapping on the windows. Michael Jackson, exhausted from intense This Is It rehearsals, lies in his king-size bed, his thin frame barely making an impression on the mattress. His eyes are wide open, filled with anxiety. Sleep has become his greatest enemy. For weeks, he's barely rested. The upcoming London shows are weighing heavily on him. 50 performances that the world is waiting to see. Seated beside the bed is Dr. Conrad Murray, dressed casually, monitoring the IV line. Murray, a cardiologist by profession, was never trained as a sleep specialist. Yet here he is, night after night, playing the role of Michael's personal sleep doctor. First, Murray administers lorazepam and midazolam, powerful benzodiazepines that slowly sedate Michael and suppress his breathing. But tonight, like so many nights before, it isn't enough. Michael, desperate and restless, keeps whispering, "I need to sleep. I need my milk." At approximately 10:40 a.m., after repeated requests, Dr. Murray prepares the final dose. He injects 25 milligrams of Propofol, a white, milky anesthetic normally used in operating rooms, directly into Michael's IV line. Within minutes, Michael's breathing becomes shallow. His body finally relaxes. He appears to fall into a deep sleep. Murray stays by his side for a short while, then steps out of the room briefly. Some reports say to make phone calls about business matters. Others mention using the bathroom. When he returns just minutes later, the horror begins. Michael is no longer breathing normally. His chest is still. Murray checks for a pulse. It's faint and irregular. Panic sets in. Instead of immediately calling emergency services, critical minutes are lost. Murray attempts CPR on his own. It's only at 12:21 p.m., nearly 2 hours after Michael stopped breathing, that security finally calls 911. When paramedics burst into the bedroom, they find a chaotic scene. Michael lying motionless on the bed, an IV still in his arm, and Dr. Murray performing desperate resuscitation. They rush him to Ronald Reagan UCLA Medical Center, but it's too late. At 2:26 p.m., Michael Jackson is officially pronounced dead. The official cause of death, acute propofol intoxication, combined with the effects of lorazepam and midazolam. The powerful mix caused complete respiratory failure in a body that was already dangerously weak. In 2011, after a dramatic 6-week trial, Dr. Conrad Murray was convicted of involuntary manslaughter. The jury concluded he acted with gross negligence by administering a hospital-grade anesthetic in a home environment without proper monitoring equipment or emergency backup. He was sentenced to 4 years but only served about 2. Yet the bigger question still haunts millions of fans to this day. Murray was just the man holding the syringe. But who was really behind the decision to use such an extreme method night after night? Why did a cardiologist suddenly become the full-time sleep doctor for the biggest star in the world, earning a reported $150,000 per month? Was this truly just medical care gone wrong? or something darker. But the secrets surrounding Michael's final hours were only the beginning. The scandals that defined his later life ran much deeper. Chapter 3. The scandals and rumors that shook the world. A man trapped in the spotlight. But even as Michael's body rested in the silent marble halls of the great mausoleum, the storms that defined his later life refused to die. The world didn't just mourn the king of pop. It continued to judge him, dissect him, and turn his every vulnerable moment into sensational headlines. Michael Jackson spent his entire adult life under a microscope, a man who grew up without a normal childhood, surrounded by fame so intense it became its own kind of prison. The media loved painting him as a dangerous eccentric, a freak who couldn't be trusted. But behind the scandals was a deeply lonely, childlike soul who desperately wanted to give love and receive it in return, only to be betrayed again and again by those he trusted. November 2002, Berlin, Germany. Michael was staying at the luxurious Hotel Adlon Kempinski, right near the Brandenburg Gate. A massive crowd of fans had gathered below, chanting his name, desperate for even a glimpse of their idol. It was a cold evening. Michael, holding his infant son, Prince Michael II, affectionately known as Blanket, stepped onto the fourth-floor balcony. The roar from the crowd was deafening. In a moment of pure, overwhelming excitement and love, Michael lifted the baby, whose face was gently covered by a blanket for protection from the flashing cameras, and briefly held him over the railing with one hand while gripping the balcony with the other. It lasted only a few terrifying seconds. The crowd below gasped in horror. Cameras clicked furiously. Within hours, the images exploded across every news channel worldwide. Headlines screamed, "Michael Jackson dangles baby over balcony." Child welfare experts condemned him. Late-night hosts mocked him. The world painted him as reckless, unstable, even dangerous. Michael later apologized publicly, his voice cracking with emotion. "I got caught up in the moment. It was a terrible mistake. I would never intentionally endanger my children." In that single impulsive gesture, you see the tragedy of Michael Jackson. A man who had been performing for crowds since he was 5 years old, who craved connection with his fans like oxygen, momentarily lost perspective under the blinding pressure of adoration. He wasn't trying to hurt his son. He was trying to share the joy of fatherhood with the people who had supported him through so much pain. But the media didn't see a loving father. They saw another opportunity to label him Wacko Jacko. Then came the 2003 documentary Living with Michael Jackson, filmed by a British journalist, Martin Bashir. What was meant to be an intimate portrait became one of the most damaging pieces of media in his life. One of the most replayed scenes shows Michael walking through a Las Vegas antique store, pointing excitedly at furniture, artwork, and decorations, repeatedly saying in a soft, childlike voice, "I'll take that, and that. How about this table?" It painted him as impulsive, out of touch with reality, and wildly extravagant. But those who knew him understood the deeper truth. Michael had never had a normal childhood. Neverland Ranch was his attempt to create the wonderland he was denied as a boy. Shopping sprees were rare moments of joy in a life filled with lawsuits, pain, and betrayal. The editing made him look erratic. The reality was a man trying to find happiness in material things because genuine human connection had become so dangerous for him. Even more damaging was the Jesus juice moment. During the documentary, Michael was shown offering wine to a young boy, referring to it playfully as Jesus juice, a reference to Christian symbolism of wine as the blood of Christ. The clip was blasted across the airwaves as evidence of inappropriate behavior. Michael later explained that the editing twisted innocent, playful moments, but the damage was done. The documentary fueled suspicions and directly led to the nightmare that followed. In 2005, Michael Jackson faced what many called the trial of the century. He was accused of molesting 13-year-old Gavin Arvizo, along with related charges including providing alcohol to minors and conspiracy. The proceedings in Santa Maria, California dragged on for months, with the entire world watching. Gavin testified that after the Bashir documentary aired, Michael had given him and his brother wine disguised in soda cans, the infamous Jesus juice, showed them pornography, and allegedly molested him on 2 occasions. The accusations were graphic and heartbreaking to hear. But as the defense cross-examined the family, a very different picture emerged. The Arvizos had a history of financial troubles and previous accusations against others. Michael's team presented evidence that the family had repeatedly asked Michael for money and gifts. Many witnesses, including people who had spent time at Neverland, testified that Michael's relationships with children were innocent, like a big brother or a father figure who had been robbed of his own childhood. After 73 days of testimony, nearly 700 pieces of evidence, and 90 witnesses for the prosecution, the jury deliberated and delivered its verdict on June 13, 2005, not guilty on all 10 counts. Michael walked out of the courthouse emotionally and physically drained. The trial had taken a massive toll. He described it as one of the most painful experiences of his life, a public crucifixion that left him even more isolated and distrustful of the world. Through it all, you can feel Michael's deep pain, a man who opened his home and heart to sick and underprivileged children, only to have that kindness weaponized against him. The constant media circus turned Neverland, his sanctuary, into a symbol of suspicion. He never fully recovered from the emotional scars of that trial. Even years after his death, in 2025, when Jeffrey Epstein's court documents were unsealed, Michael's name appeared once, mentioned in a purely social context at Epstein's Florida residence. There were no allegations, no accusations of wrongdoing, and no further claims. Major outlets like CNN and the New York Times emphasized it was nothing more than a passing reference. Yet tabloids still tried to drag his name through the mud one more time. Here's the slant that Legendary Secrets wants you to truly understand. The media spent decades pushing Michael Jackson into the corner of a dangerous eccentric, a man to be feared and mocked. Every unusual behavior, every moment of vulnerability was twisted into proof of guilt. But time after time, the most serious accusations either collapsed in court or lacked sufficient evidence. Was Michael Jackson the first victim of what we now call cancel culture? A man destroyed by public opinion before the full truth could ever come out? Beneath the scandals was a profoundly lonely human being, a genius who gave the world unmatched joy through his music, yet lived in constant fear, pain, and betrayal. He built Neverland as a place of innocence because the adult world had hurt him so deeply. He surrounded himself with children because they didn't judge him the way adults did. The world demanded perfection from him while offering none in return. They worshipped his talent and then crucified the man. Michael's story isn't just about fame. It's about how society chews up its most sensitive, most gifted souls and leaves them broken under the weight of endless scrutiny. Chapter 4. The Untouchable Artistic Legacy, Genius Behind the Pain. But even in the darkest chapters of his life, Michael Jackson's brilliance burned brighter than the scandals trying to consume him. Behind the pain, the rumors, and the isolation was a creative genius who didn't just perform, he revolutionized entertainment forever. Let's go back to 1982. Michael released Thriller, the album that would become the best-selling record of all time, with an astonishing 70 to 100 million copies sold worldwide. It wasn't just music, it was a cultural earthquake. 7 songs from the album became top 10 hits: Billie Jean, Beat It, Wanna Be Startin' Something, and more. At the 1984 Grammys, Thriller took home a record-breaking 8 awards, including Album of the Year. But the true revolution happened on December 2nd, 1983, when the 14-minute Thriller music video premiered on MTV. Directed by John Landis and with groundbreaking makeup by Rick Baker, it transformed a simple song into a cinematic horror masterpiece. Michael morphs into a werewolf, leads an army of zombies in one of the most iconic dance sequences ever filmed, and set a new standard for music videos as short films. It cost over $500,000, an unheard of amount at the time, and Michael helped finance it himself. That single video didn't just boost sales, it changed the entire industry. Then there was the night of March 25th, 1983, Motown 25 television special. Michael stepped onto the stage in a sparkling jacket and fedora. During Billie Jean, he stunned the world with the moonwalk, that smooth, gravity-defying backward glide. He didn't invent the move, but he perfected it and made it his own. The audience erupted. In one moment, Michael turned a street dance technique into a global phenomenon that dancers still copy today. In Smooth Criminal, he took illusion even further. Michael and his designers created a patented anti-gravity lean shoe, special heels that locked into the stage floor, allowing him to lean forward at a 45-degree angle without falling. It looked like pure magic. Behind the scenes, it was pure engineering genius born from Michael's relentless pursuit of perfection. Even in his final days, that genius never faded. In 2009, during secret rehearsals for the This Is It comeback tour at the Staples Center, Michael poured his soul into every detail. Footage later released in the documentary shows him, thin and frail but fiercely focused, directing dancers, perfecting choreography, and hitting every note with precision. He was still the ultimate showman, creating magic even as his body was failing him. And then there was Neverland Ranch, his 2,700-acre private paradise in the hills of Santa Barbara. It wasn't just a home, it was a living dream, a private zoo filled with tigers named Thriller and Sabu, elephants, giraffes, orangutans, flamingos, and even a python named Muscles. Michael would personally feed baby elephants and watch the animals roam. For a man robbed of his own childhood, Neverland was his attempt to create a world of pure wonder and innocence, a secret sanctuary where he could escape the cruel adult world that constantly judged him. Chapter 5: The FBI Files and the Persistent Tomb Rumors. Why the world still won't let go. And now we come to the most intriguing details that millions of fans around the world are still deeply curious about. The final mysteries surrounding Michael Jackson that refuse to rest in peace. Let's start with the official records that many hoped would finally reveal some hidden bombshell. After Michael's death in 2009, the FBI released over 300 pages, some reports say up to 333 or more, of investigative files connected to his name. What did they contain? The truth is surprisingly straightforward, and for his true fans, deeply vindicating. The FBI never opened an independent criminal investigation targeting Michael Jackson himself. Instead, their involvement was largely supportive. They assisted local law enforcement during the 2003 to 2005 child molestation allegations, helped investigate death threats made against him in 1992, and looked into an extortion attempt in 2004. After reviewing everything, computers, hard drives, witness statements, and more, the files contain zero evidence of criminal wrongdoing by Michael. No charges, no hidden scandals uncovered, just assistance to California authorities on cases that ultimately ended with Michael being acquitted on all counts in 2005. As his defense attorney, Tom Mesereau, later said, the FBI files served as further proof that Michael was innocent. The man the world scrutinized more than almost anyone else in history was never found guilty of a single federal crime. But if the official documents cleared so much, why do the wild rumors continue to explode online? The tomb rumor, fact versus viral fiction. Recently, a wave of shocking social media posts has been circulating with the bold claim that Michael Jackson's tomb was opened after 16 years. Some videos and images suggest his body was found perfectly preserved, unnaturally pale, or even imply the coffin was empty, feeding wild theories that he faked his death and is still alive somewhere. Here's the reality check. This is a hoax. No credible news organization, not CNN, not BBC, not the Los Angeles Times, has reported any such opening of the tomb. The images and videos circulating are either old recycled footage, AI-generated, or blatantly photoshopped. These clickbait stories pop up every few years with slightly different titles. Tomb opened after 15 years. What they found shocked the world. Designed purely to generate views and ad revenue. So what's the actual situation at Michael's final resting place today? Michael Jackson was privately entombed on September 3, 2009, inside the Great Mausoleum at Forest Lawn Memorial Park in Glendale, California. Specifically in the exclusive Holly Terrace section, Sanctuary of Ascension. His crypt is located in a restricted, locked area accessible only to authorized family members and cemetery staff. The public cannot enter the inner corridors of the mausoleum. Fans still visit regularly. They leave flowers, notes, pictures, and tributes at the entrance to Holly Terrace or nearby public areas. On anniversaries, especially June 25th, you'll often see small gatherings outside with sunflowers, one of Michael's favorites, and heartfelt messages. The cemetery maintains the site with dignity and privacy as the Jackson family intended. There have been no official reopenings, no reported issues with the crypt, and no shocking discoveries. The marble walls and bronze doors remain sealed, just as they have for 16 years. A quiet sanctuary protecting Michael from the chaos he endured in life. So why, after 16 long years, can the world still not let Michael Jackson rest? There are several layers to this obsession. First, the allure of tragedy. Michael's life was the ultimate Hollywood drama. A child star who became the biggest entertainer on the planet, only to be plagued by pain, addiction, betrayal, and relentless public judgment. People are drawn to unfinished stories, especially ones involving a genius who seemed both superhuman and deeply fragile. His death felt too sudden, too mysterious for many. The sealed tomb only adds to the mystique. Second, money and legacy. Michael's estate is worth hundreds of millions of dollars. His music continues to generate enormous revenue through streams, re-releases, and potential biopics. Conspiracy theories about faked deaths or hidden truths keep his name trending, which translates directly into clicks, views, and profit for content creators. Some even speculate that keeping the rumors alive helps maintain public interest in his catalog. Third, and perhaps most powerfully, is the human need for meaning. Michael represented so many things to so many people: innocence, talent, pain, redemption. For some fans, accepting that a man of such extraordinary gifts suffered so much and then simply died feels unbearable. They search for alternative explanations. Body doubles, cover-ups, secret escapes. It's easier to believe in a grand mystery than to confront the heartbreaking reality of a sensitive artist destroyed by the very fame he helped create. But here's the reassuring truth we should hold on to. Michael Jackson doesn't need more drama to remain immortal. His legacy lives in the music, in the moonwalk that still inspires dancers, in Thriller that still plays at every Halloween, in the billions of streams and the countless lives his songs have touched. The FBI files, the court verdicts, and the passage of time all point to the same conclusion. He was a complicated, brilliant, and deeply human man who was hounded by suspicion, but ultimately cleared. The marble crypt in Holly Terrace may be sealed, but Michael's spirit was never locked away. It dances on in every fan who learns the moonwalk, every artist he influenced, and every heart that finds comfort or joy in his songs. The rumors will probably continue. That's the price of being the king of pop. But the real Michael Jackson, the one who poured his soul into his art despite unimaginable pain, rests peacefully. And his music? That will never be buried. After diving deep into the mysteries, the scandals, and the undeniable genius, What remains is not rumor or conspiracy, but an eternal legacy that continues to inspire the world. After everything we've uncovered, the private burial, the heartbreaking medical truths, the scandals that tried to break him, the unmatched artistic genius, and the endless rumors that still swirl around his final resting place, one question remains. Does this story make you want to visit Michael Jackson's mausoleum, even just once, to pay your respects in person? To stand in that quiet, sacred space and feel the weight of a legend who gave so much to the world, yet received so little peace in return? Whatever your answer is, I want to hear it. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Do you believe the tomb rumors, or do you think they're just another chapter in the never-ending Michael Jackson mystery? What part of his life shocked you the most? Which story would you like us to explore next on this channel? More about the Jackson family, Neverland's hidden secrets, or another legendary icon? If you're as fascinated by these untold stories as I am, hit that subscribe button right now, turn on the notification bell, and join the Legendary Secrets family. We go deeper, we stay respectful, and we always chase the truth behind the headlines. Thank you so much for watching. Your support means everything to us as we continue uncovering the hidden chapters of music history and Hollywood legends. Until next time, stay curious, stay kind, and remember, the king of pop's music will never die. Rest in power, Michael. The world still feels your rhythm.